feels, and certainly the funding for the whole sort of sport for the next 4 years. So there really has been everything to play for this week.
So a lot on the line this week and a lot on the line today. The compound competition, and we'll start off with the women's team bronze medal match. This will be Venezuela taking on Italy. Venezuela on target number 1. Italy is on target number 2. And once again, of course, the scoring in compound. Well, we've got the ends, and there's in the team competition 6 arrows per end, 4 ends per match, and they're just going to keep score as we go along. It's really very simple.
That is correct, a cumulative score, so it really gives the teams an opportunity to pull ahead. Sometimes with the set points, you might beat another team quite a lot in one end, but at least with this one, if you accumulate points, you can increase that lead, so that maybe it just takes the pressure off a little bit going into the finish.
Let's take a look at our teams that are competing today from Venezuela and Italy. There's the team from Venezuela. Venezuela, Olga Bosch, Ana Mendoza, and Jeanette Leal. They surprised Mexico 229 to 221 before losing to Team USA in the semifinals 228 to 222. So it's Bosch, Leal, and Mendoza shooting at target number 1. For the Italian team, and there's a good look at their coach. The 3 ladies shooting today, and boy, I'll tell you what, they're all top flight archers. Anastasia Anastasio, Laura Longo, and Marcella Tonioli waving to the crowd here in Ogden, Utah, where it is mighty toasty warm, almost 100 degrees. These archers were hot this week. They defeated Australia 227 to 212, and then lost to the semis to the Russians by just 1 point.
Very close. I certainly hope they got their sun cream on, because it's already been a long day for most of these athletes. A lot of them were down the field this morning at about 8 a.m. trying to get some practice in before the heat picked up. And it was still hot back then, and it was windy as can be as well. We're a little bit sheltered from the wind here in the stadium, so hopefully that might make things easier. But if the wind does pick up, we could have some interesting results, because being inside this big bowl, as it were, the wind is going to swirl around and could make things very tricky.
You saw the weather conditions on the screen just a moment ago. The weather's always a factor outdoors. It is extremely hot. It is extremely dry. The wind's a little bit lighter right now, but they should pick up as the sun starts to set. Fortunately, the smoke from a grass fire about 100 miles away from here has died down. It was a factor yesterday as it came up into this area, and the first shot is a good one.
It's always great to walk onto a new field with new wind conditions and be able to start off in the middle. Gives you a bit of confidence for the arrows to follow.
So Mendoza with a good shot to start off, and there's another good shot for Venezuela.
It's on the line, but it's in. Luckily, the evening sun is not in the archer's eyes.
It will set behind them, behind the stands. So there's 10-10-10 to start it off with Venezuela.
Well, they couldn't have wished for more.
So now Team Italy. Laura Longo stepping up to the line. This team has 3 archers ranked in the top 13 in the world, and there's a 9 to start it off for Longo. Anastasio now ranked 13th in the world.
Both of them just gone a little high.
Marcella Tonioli, who has experienced success here in Ogden, Utah in the past.
She's got it.
So there's a 10 and a 2-point lead for Venezuela after the first end. No, excuse me, midway through the first end, I should say.
Oh, well, that's going to level things up a bit. I did wonder if Venezuela were going to just run away with things.
Ana Mendoza with an 8. Ana ranked 35th in the world, just 22 years old.
Okay, atacando, segura. Bien, bien.
Leal.
It's back in the middle.
Jeanette Leal, 21 years old. And now Olga Bosch, 18th in the world, has been ranked as high as 4th in the world back in 2009, and shows you right there.
Well, Italy needing to clean these 3 arrows with a perfect 30 if they want to
Stendi bene.
stay level with Venezuela.
Dentro.
Yo voy a revisar las plumas.
9 alle 7, largo.
Laura just inside in the 9 ring.
I remember watching Laura pick up a bronze medal in Shanghai at the end of last year. She shot fantastic in the bronze medal match.
Anastasio
Sì,
was part of
10
that
alto,
bronze medal
buono.
team in Shanghai, stage
35
1.
ora.
Part of a team that won the silver medal in Antalya as well. Now, Tonioli.
¿Quieres agua?
10 alle 6.
I think that's got it, yep.
So now the first end has been completed, and the Italians just 1 point back as Venezuela takes a 58-57 lead after the first 6 shots. 3 more ends yet to go in this opening match in Ogden, Utah, where tomorrow the recurve competition will take place, and you'll see many of the athletes heading for London next month. Today, though, the compound archers, who hope one day to be included in the Olympics. In fact, we are seeing 12 of the 14 archers who've already qualified for the World Cup finals. They're competing here today, Mike.
That's fantastic. No, that's really good to see.
Excellent field here for stage 3 of the Archery World Cup.
I think people are particularly keen to go to the World Cup final this year of all years. Being in Tokyo, I think there's a lot of excitement about, we don't have too many shoots in that part of the world, and people are really pumped about going to Tokyo. Looks like a fantastic venue for the pinnacle of the compound.
Juan
sport
Carlos
this year.
Holgado does a great job of going over and scouting out those great sites.
That's what he's paid for.
Yes, he is. And by the way, our hats off to the Easton Foundation and the Easton family for doing such a great job of hosting this event here in Ogden, Utah. Greg Easton, the Easton Foundation, putting on a tremendous event here.
Yeah, I'm always, as an athlete, I'm always happy to come to Ogden. We know we're going to get world-class competition, great facilities, all the little things like transport, meal time, everything's just really nicely done, and it makes a difference. It means we can focus on our sport and get on with doing the day job, as it were.
We're about to get on with the day job right here and head to the second end, and Italy, trailing by 1, will shoot first. Venezuela leading at 58-57, just underway. Hope you're enjoying our coverage on archery.tv. As Laura Longo, 5th in the world.
9 alle 7 un'altra volta, come quello di prima. Vai di mirino, vai di mirino. Assolutamente.
She'll find a form. She'll be back on track.
Anastasio.
They got some good experience in this team. Oh, it seems like she's chosen a golf ball for her grip there.
9 alle 7, Anna, anche tu.
Explain that a little bit to those who are watching maybe for the first time.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, normally you have a slim, narrow grip, pretty similar to a gun grip. Just puts the pressure down the middle of the palm of your hand. But some people find that a little bit too vague, and they don't know whether they're pushing a bit in the throat or whether they're healing it with the bottom of the hand. Whereas if you put, some people use a ball bearing or like a golf ball, you've got a definite pressure point. So they can feel confident that every time they put their hand in there, the ball, the pressure point is in the same place, and it gives them the consistency and the feel they want. Personally, I hate it. I'd much prefer to just have a thin, smooth, narrow grip. Narrow so you can't torque it. Because in these conditions, sometimes, especially when your hand gets sweaty, if you start to apply more pressure to one side of the grip than the other, it just torques a bow and you'll kick arrows left and right and just enough to miss the 10. So the grip is important, and if that's what shoots best for her, then that's what she's got to use.
And it's all personal preference.
It's all personal
it's
choice.
Feel, how you feel.
Absolutely. As long as people have tried both, then there's no argument. If they know that shoots better for them, that's a done deal. That's
Italy starting off with 3 straight 9s. Venezuela with 3 straight 10s.
That's fantastic. This Venezuelan team have really come in with their sights set, and they've not put a foot wrong, really. Just that odd little 8.
So Italy with its work cut out for it, trailing by 4 points now, midway through this second end.
9 alle 6 e mezza
Need to start hitting that 10 if they're going to
basso.
try and
Meno a
pull some points
sinistra,
back.
ma basso. Molto basso.
There's a great view of the golf ball.
9 alle
On the
9
line
di
for a
riva.
9.
Siete tutte e due
I
ancora
was
a
actually lucky
sinistra,
enough to have a
ancora
round of
basso.
golf here in Utah at the beginning of the week. It's such a beautiful landscape.
Marcella. Plenty of time on the clock.
They've got a good group. They're just not in the right place.
It's good shooting, but not
Shooting at target number 2,
Fate
the
pace col mirino.
Italians.
Sveglia, sveglia,
If
sveglia.
Venezuela keeps shooting this way, Venezuela could pick up even more points.
Yeah, shooting at 54. I don't know if Italy are going to be able to come back from that. And Venezuela just aren't giving them the chance. So even if they were shooting 10s,
Vamos, Joané, atacando, vamos.
they've hardly got a chance to pull any
Vamos
points
atacando,
back.
Joané, vamos.
Remember, Venezuela did defeat Mexico to get to this point, to this bronze medal match, and the Mexican team is highly regarded.
Absolutely. Yeah, formidable.
just out of a 10 right.
They're a world-class team.
Possible 6-point lead.
That's one thing I've found out about this week. The depth of field we've had here in Ogden has been immense. It's just been such a deep field. There's no tolerance for mistakes. You've got to be on the money or you're going to fall down that leaderboard.
What a terrific shot by Olga Bosch, who is going to Tokyo for the World Cup Finals. And Olga Bosch, ranked 18th in the world, helps to build that lead for Team Venezuela, which is vying for a bronze medal here at Stage 3 of the Archery World Cup. And there you see the scores for Italy, 111 out of a possible 120 points. And for Venezuela, we'll get their score up in just a moment. But Venezuela, midway through this match, really putting the heat, no pun intended, on the Italian team right now. There you see the score, 117 out of a possible 120. So it's a 6-point lead right now. It's a lot of ground to be made up over the final 2 ends.
It is. I wouldn't want to be in Italy's position. I mean, all they can do is try and get back in the middle. Obviously, if Venezuela don't drop any points, it doesn't matter how wonderful Italy shoot, but at least they'll finish the match feeling a whole lot better.
So Venezuela actually outscored the Italians 59-54 in that second end. The first end was much closer. Venezuela winning that end 58-57, but they have pulled away to a 6-point lead, and Italy needs to start shooting bullseyes. Nothing but 10s from here on out.
And maybe equally as importantly, Venezuela, from Italy's point of view, has got to start dropping some points.
A beautiful backdrop of the Rocky Mountains here in Ogden, Utah. But Laura Longo only has eyes for that target 50 meters away.
Ok, X.
Got it.
X.
Maybe this is the start of the comeback.
Dai, Anna, tienila.
10.
E andiamo, alto, alto ma buono, alto ma
Perhaps some
buono.
momentum building for Italians.
Tutto il tempo.
Let's
Preparala
hope so.
bene, Marzi, dai.
Vamos, que esto es de nosotros. Vamos, Venezuela. Vamos, Joané, atacando, atacando.
Eccolo, andiamo, cazzo.
Marcella
andiamo,
Tonioli
andiamo.
finishing it off.
Johanna, disparo bonito, disparo
3 straight
bonito.
10s to start off this third end for Team Italy,
See the hole. Here comes
Déjalo que
Venezuela.
fluya.
as the Italians try to put some pressure on the Venezuelans.
Vale, vamos.
Okay.
Vamos.
The plot doth thicken.
Yeah. Maybe it's not going to be the
Vamos, Joané,
runaway
atacando.
success for Venezuela we thought.
Vamos con intensidad, vamos. Tú sabes cómo.
Jeanette Leal,
Bien,
10
bien.
on the line.
very solid.
9 shots to go for
Found the way
Italy,
back
9
in.
shots to go for Venezuela in this
10,
match.
10. Está muy bien.
And here's Olga Bosch, who won her first World Cup medal, a silver medal, back in 2009 in Turkey.
Vamos.
Has been on the international circuit for a decade now.
Dale, 10.
She finds 10 as well. Just clipping the edge.
Very
Come
experienced.
prima, Laura.
You've only just got to touch that line to get the high score. So as long as they're touching the black line,
Dai, così.
they get the 10 points.
Vamos, vamos, no vamos, vamos,
So
seguimos,
the
seguimos.
6-point lead is now down to 4 midway through this
No,
third end,
Ancora.
as Laura Longo finds the 9 ring.
Tirale su da lì.
8 shots remaining.
not having her best
9
day.
shots to go for Venezuela.
Mira, fai
Venezuela
qualcosa,
leading by
tirale
4.
su da lì.
She'll get
Gioca-
another chance
guarda.
later on in individual competition.
9 alle 2 di riga.
Anastasio also with a 9.
30 secondi ora, Marci.
And now it's Marcella, ranked 2nd in the world.
Plenty of time on the clock.
10.
Sì, Marci, 10 alle 3,
Took her
bravo.
time and
Fácil, descarga.
got the result she was looking for.
6 shots remaining in the
Disparo
match.
fácil.
Perché lì, Laura? Perché continuano ad andare lì?
to go for Venezuela.
Here's Ana Mendoza.
Tuya, vamos.
Vogliamo provare a contromirare, vogliamo provare a toccare di nuovo il mirino.
Before that one
Quella
went
che è
off, she
andata
knew
dentro,
she wasn't ready
quella
for
che è
that
andata
one.
dentro, gli hai dato
That was
un
just a
calcio.
little bit quick, and you could see
Rushed
the
it a little bit.
Yeah, just the look on her face when it went off. She knew it wasn't going to be great. But 8, hopefully that won't be a game changer.
The last time she
vamos,
shot an 8, her
atacando.
teammates picked her up. Leal.
Ese, vale,
Ooh,
10.
close.
They're calling it in, but I'm not so sure about that.
Ahí en la rayita, parece bien.
They'll have to get out the magnifying glasses for that one.
They certainly will.
Mira,
That's
está
why
muy
we've got the judges
vegetariano.
here.
Pura línea.
Right now, it's on the board as a
Dame la
10.
boca. Bien, Olga,
There's a
vamos.
definite
Yeah,
9.
there's no doubt with that one.
If Italy walks
So
in,
depending upon the score by
shots to go.
on that second shot by Leal in the third end,
È tutto da fare.
could be a little bit closer than we think it is as we head to the fourth and final end.
They're still going to have a hill to climb, Italy, I feel.
No question about it. There you see the score, 169 for Italy. Out of the possible 180 points, they've just been a little bit off here in the first 3 ends. Meanwhile, the Venezuelans, in those first 2 ends, just about perfect. Then in the third end, gave a few points back. They had a 6-point lead, and now it's down to 3, 172 to 169 as you take a look at the crowd here at Lindquist Field in Ogden, Utah. This is a baseball stadium most days,
Not today.
but for this occasion, it's home to the greatest, some of the greatest archers in the world.
It's a great venue.
6 arrows to go, still anyone's bronze.
I tell people that they're basically shooting. The shooting line is basically about where home plate is in baseball,
I'll take your word for that.
and you're trying to hit a target right out about second base. And that target's not very big.
No, it's not.
Not the target you want to hit. So it is a 3-point match right now. 3 points. The difference between Italy and Venezuela. Venezuela has led from the start.
Italy shooting first.
With Italy going first, if they can lay down 3 10s, that does put the pressure on Venezuela then to follow. But if they don't, I think that Venezuela will just have the confidence just to go up and finish off.
Dai. Dai, che un 10 alle 3, dai.
Pressure shot from Laura Longo, who was 5th at the World Cup Finals last fall in Istanbul and is also going to Tokyo this coming September. There's the golf ball that Mike was talking about just a few moments ago, trying to give the proper grip, and it doesn't quite work out for
Ok,
Anastasio.
non importa.
Concentrados que tenemos que hacer. Vamos, Joné, atacando, Joné.
As the judge keeping watch. Within the team round, it's quite easy to make a foot fault. You're not allowed 2 athletes in front of the 1 meter line at one point. And if you do, you get punished and you go back and wait. So the sequence of feet is really important. And sometimes in the heat of competition, it's very easy to get out of sequence. And then the judge makes you both go behind the line. And then the clock, all the time this is happening, the clock is still ticking down. And most of these girls have got about 15 seconds left on the clock. It doesn't take long before you start getting tight for time. And then that's when you start getting the stray arrows.
And the last thing you want to do is eat up a lot of time and leave very little time on the clock for that final archer.
No. That last team member's job is a crucial one sometimes. Sometimes going last is easy because you know, you look at the clock, you've got 30 seconds left, there's no rush. Other times you look at the clock, it says 8 seconds, and you know
you better hurry.
You've just got to put the pedal to the metal, as it was.
So 2 9s and a 10
Dai.
to start off the fourth and final end, and it's still a 3-point advantage for Venezuela. So no room for error right now for the Italian team, if they're going to pick up the bronze medal here in stage 3.
Eccolo, alle 6, grande. Anastasia, tienila fino
So a
all'ultimo.
good shot by Longo
Tienila
right
fino
there,
all'ultimo.
the 10, keeping her team in contention, but Anastasio has to follow it up.
See if she can improve on that 8 last time.
Così,
She can. Maybe not
Solo
enough, though.
alto.
Just
Così,
outside
così
the
sta.
10 ring.
30.
Final arrow for Italy.
Final shot of the match, final arrow for Italy. Plenty of time on the clock for Marcella Tonioli, who picked up the sport 8 years ago thanks to a physical education teacher back in Italy.
Ok, dai.
And she'll finish off with a 9, so the final score will be 225. So really, Venezuela.
They got 25 points to get, or 26 points to
26
get.
points.
There's 9 of them.
There's
Okay.
9. 2 more like that.
Vamos, Joné,
They've
atacando.
got their bronze medal.
Technically, the
Bien, Joné,
Venezuelan team have
atacando,
looked
atacando,
really
vamos.
solid.
Segura.
They've got good basic form.
Déjalo que fluya. Dale, 10. Muy
It
bien.
shows. When the pressure's on, you can still deliver.
Muy bien, Joné, muy bien.
Well done by Jeanette Leal, just 21 years old and ranked 56th in the world. Took a team silver medal at the Pan Am Championships in El Salvador last month and is about to win a bronze medal. And her teammate finishes it off.
But it's enough.
Olga Bosch with a final shot and finishing it up. And there's just sheer joy and ecstasy for the Venezuelan archers who go over and congratulate their colleagues from Italy. Great sportsmanship.
Performance.
Yep.
Great performance from Venezuela. They come out, shot that 30, and they never really put a foot wrong after that.
And really, when you look at this, again, we mentioned this earlier in the match, Mike, but the Italians had the 5th ranked archer in the world, the 13th ranked archer in the world, and the 2nd ranked archer in the world on their team. That is a powerhouse lineup, and Venezuela was able to overcome that.
Absolutely. Italy, normally a formidable team. This afternoon, they just never really got into their normal stride. They fell behind in that first end, and they never really got in a situation where they could pull any points back. And quite frankly, even if Venezuela weren't going to give them a chance anyway, by the looks of things, so
excellent
not
performance.
their day.
Nope.
Not their day today.
But it was the day for the Venezuelan team. Olga Bosch, Ana Mendoza, and Jeanette Leal, who surprised Mexico 229 to 221 before falling to Team USA 228 to 222. They bounced back.